Okay, so here's what we need. This due by Thursday, and just the video on this due by Thursday. And here's my reasoning. I'm gonna be honest. This right here, today's stuff, super easy, like easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? This, I don't know that you guys have ever seen this before. Let's find out, because I think you guys are kind of honest. Okay, let's go back. I think you guys are honest because you're nice people. Here we go. Foil. Are you familiar with foil? Okay. That super, somebody just farted look tells me that probably, no. Okay. I know what foil is. Yes. No. Have heard of it. Have never heard of it. What do you got?
I had to use it freshman year.
You had to use it freshman year. What year are you now?
I'm a junior.
There you go. Okay.
I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't really know
Yeah,
what it is.
I thought I've heard of it, but I have no idea how to do it.
So same, okay. So we're like, maybe in a vague, dreamlike memory somewhere, but please, dear God, don't ask me to do anything with
I
it.
know what it is, but I don't know how to do it.
That's fine. All right. You know what? But see, here's the thing. That's an honest answer. That's what I needed. Thank you. All right. So that's kind of what I figured, because from what I gather, this is about where you guys hopped off the train last year because of COVID. Okay? Because all of this stuff that we've done up here and all that we're going to do the rest of this chapter, whatever we call this unit, is just Algebra 1, guys. It's Algebra 1, and it's Algebra 1 you should have. It's not your fault that you don't have it, okay? It's because, hey, you didn't have 9 weeks of school last year. You know, not your fault. But what it does mean, though, is before you can go to Algebra 2, the Algebra 2 teacher is a jerk. And if you don't know how to do this, he's going to be really upset next year because it's me. Okay, so let's make sure we do it this year so you roll into Algebra 2, not behind, but right where you want to be. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of taking off some geometry stuff and putting in some algebra stuff. Because some of the geometry stuff, although cool, like the other classes down the road, don't depend on some of those geometry circle proofs. Versus they 100% depend on you being able to factor a polynomial. Okay? So I'm just trying to make sure that we're sending you down the road as prepared as we can. Okay. Does that make sense for our plan, guys? By the way, this next topic, you need to be right with me. This is, look at me clearly, this is not the time to fall behind. Now is the time to stay right on target, and here's why. It's not hard to learn if you go through it with me together, okay? This is one of those things, however, that if you're like, and decide, oh, I'll just do this next week. No, you won't. Okay, because trying to learn it by yourself, ooh, bad things, man. Okay, not a good look. So please, 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 if you like focus for no other 2 weeks in this year, the next 2 weeks, you have to be like laser focused, okay? So just fair warning. All right, cool. Because today's easy, but then you'll notice we do this, this, this. All of this is literally the same topic. So we do like 9 or 10 slides of the same thing. Okay, that's how important this is. That's how much practice there is and how much I want you to make sure you really understand it, okay? Does that make sense, guys? All right. Before I beat that dead horse any further, let's go with taking out common. I don't know why it does that. That's weird. Okay. Here we go. this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna take out the common. And let's see here, can I zoom in a little bit? Okay, I assume everybody can see that. All I want to do is take out what's common to every one of these pieces. So tell me what you know is in this piece, and this piece. A what? An X. She says, I got an X. I'm going to take an X out. Now, just one X, two X's, three X's? Just one, and here's why. I got 3 here. I could take 3 out of here. But I only have 2 here. So if it were just this problem, what could I take out? X squareds, right? But because I have this one, I can only take out 1x from each piece. Does that make sense? Okay, because this will go from 1 to 0. Get the idea? All right, so I can take an x out. That leaves x squared here, an x here, and a something over here. Okay, what else comes out? A 6. Oh, I like it. Totally take a 6 out of here. That's not big enough to take a 6 out of, is it? And even though this is big enough, how come I can't take a 6 out of there? Because I have to divide, right? 9 doesn't divide by 6. So what is the biggest thing I can take out? 3. Now, I'll talk about that. All right, 3 leaves 2. 3 leaves 1. And 3 leaves 3. And here's why. Here's what we just did. We said 6x cubed plus 3x squared plus 9x. What we did was we divided out a 3x. Does that make sense? If I divide out, okay, well, that's obvious. That's 2, correct? 3 over 3 is 1. We're good there, right? And 3 and 9 is 3. So that's all good because those are numbers. We're dividing them. What happens, though, when I divide variables like this? Remember, that's like saying this, isn't it? Correct? So I take 1 out of the top and 1 out of the bottom, leaving me how many? 2. So do you see why we're dividing the numbers, but by dividing, we're subtracting from the exponents? Okay? It's the reverse of this. Tell me how to put those two together. What do? I multiply those. Do you agree? And it's y to the 5th because I add those, right? So when I'm factoring out, instead of multiply and add, I'm dividing and subtract. Are we good there? Okay. What's common down here? X, I agree. And Y, I agree. And 5. Okay, so here we go. What's here? 3. And X, 2. And no Y at all, is there? Okay, plus. What do you got over here? What do you got over here? Got a 1. All right. Now, do I have to put the 1 in? I don't have to, do I, Rambo? But it's okay if I do. All right, then what? X and Y, because 1 out leaves 1 and 1. Everybody's good? Okay. Plus